Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's edition of the 5D News. We are August 5th. I'm very happy for you to be joining us into this 5D News episode. Thank you for being here. And in the meantime, do make sure you like this episode, you are subscribed to the channel. This really, really helps us into creating some more interesting content for you guys. We pour a lot of love and research into this, and I can't wait to share our questions for tonight's show with you guys. Hi, Sophie. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
I'm doing good. So I'm doing some construction in my backyard. So I apologize in advance if you guys hear some noises. Right now they're having a pause, so we should be good for at least 50 minutes. Yeah, so a lot going on. This is the last week of Mercury being retrograde, so I'm sure a lot of you will be happy, me included. And let's start here. Let's start with the Earth and the stars. And you have sent me, Sophie, something interesting, and I'm going to share it with you for our first question. So apparently there's a new Ammonite, how it's called, a new, let's say, element, object found in the solar system. So some articles did mention planet. I read the whole article. It says it's more like some form of asteroid than a planet. It's not even a dwarf planet, but here I'm guessing it's not a real image. So apparently there's a new system, a new element here in our solar system beyond Pluto. And it's officially called 2023 KQ14, nickname Ammonite. And it says that it's of the nature of Sedna, which is a dwarf planet, and has a very elliptical orbit. So we can see here, and I'm going to hide this so you can see better. So this is our sun, and here we have the new Ammonite object, and showing how elliptical his orbit really is, a little bit like Sedna is, but closer. And right now it is quite close to the sun, so I'm guessing this is why they found this object. Okay, so this is interesting. Can we start here, Sophie, by asking the cards, is this new discovery a real discovery?
Okay.
Because we never know, right?
Yeah. And I remember that we saw it in the show previously that there was going to be a discovery of a new planet.
But this is not technically a planet because it doesn't, it has a very, very wide elliptical orbit.
Yeah.
But maybe dwarf planet, who knows? I'm going to read further the article to know.
Well, it says yes.
Okay.
Man has been in contact and with something new up there. So yes. But is it a planet that changed nature? A planet, or however you want to call that?
Yeah, let's call it a planet just to make it simple.
It changed nature. So right now it says recharging. So it's very interesting because
it's closer to the sun. I'm sorry to cut you, but it's closer to the sun, so it makes sense with the recharge card.
Absolutely. But yeah, it says it changed nature, so I don't know why or how, but interesting.
And in astronomy, astrology, more astrology than astronomy, they say that whenever we discover a new planet, it means that the significance and the archetype represented by this planet, we're ready to include it in our field of awareness, in our consciousness as humans. So we're going through, let's say, our own evolution, and we need this archetype in order to continue learning about ourselves. So what is the energy of this new planet, Ammonite?
So it's very interesting because in the oracle and the tarot card that I had already, we have the same energy twice. We have the Hierophant and we have the card of the Advisor, which is the same energy. As you can see, the pictures are very similar.
Yeah.
And the keywords with this is experience, mentor, and counsel. And the cards that I took just after were the Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Cup, and we have the Temperance. So I think that this is the merging between the population and the higher power. I think there is something in between, and this is the merging of the two.
That is so fascinating. And does that mean that we're ready to shift into 5D, into like a new higher frequency, new let's say consciousness experience, let's just call it?
I would say maybe not ready today,
Yeah.
but I would say that we're going into more of the love frequency and leaving more of the unevolved energy behind. Yeah, the anger and the war behind.
Wow, that is so cool. And can we ask if there is actually like ET life, extraterrestrial life on this planet Ammonite?
I think there used to be,
Okay.
but I don't think there is anymore.
Okay. And could it be like below the surface with this card? Like, can we ask if there's anything like living beyond the surface?
I think if there is something below the surface, it's not going to be like life. It would be like bacteria and such, which is considered as
Yeah.
life, but it's not for me life as we know it.
It's not, let's say, intelligent
Yeah. Well, yeah.
life. I don't know if I can say that because I know animals are intelligent. Okay, wow. So by us like including discovering this new planet, we're actually shifting into more of the love frequency, and it shows that we're evolving as humanity. So this is really good news.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
can we ask, just to end with this, for this topic, can we ask like, how is this planet going to help us shift into the next chapter of our evolution?
Yeah, this is the card of peace and healing. So I think that it's going to be well, it doesn't say how exactly, but it brings a more soothing and more stable energy. But it brings a more soothing and calm energy and healing, but it starts with the card of the Tower. So I think that a lot of us are currently under a lot of retrograde, right? We're feeling a lot of tension, we're feeling a lot of questions, we're feeling a lot of um like a lot of things that needs to be dealt with because they come back to the surface. So right now I think that it's more challenging to, because it asks you to let go of everything that is not on that frequency
Mhm.
and to slowly get into that new frequency. I don't see that this is going to be a fast moving new frequency. It's not going to be in a week or in a month, but it's something that is trying to gain more space, um, more, yeah, to become bigger and to be more important. But it starts with the Tower, so I would not be surprised if there is rebellions or if there is a big crisis that needs to be dealt with in order to get that new frequency there.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like every, let's say, transformation into like a higher state of consciousness requires of us to shed the old, right?
Yeah.
And like just a last question, since that popped into my field of consciousness. Is this like a signal that we fully entered the age of Aquarius?
Yes, absolutely.
This is so cool because every time like we've discovered, like I said, a new planet, it was like very, very meaningful into the events of what was happening in humanity. For example, when we discovered Pluto, it was like such a rebellion. Things were transforming at a big level, and now Ammonite. So this is so cool. And you're talking about more peace, more love frequency, more unity, consciousness. So that makes a lot of sense. Yay, Age of Aquarius.
Mhm.
So cool. Okay. Another, let's say, cosmic event that we're having in a few days is the Lionsgate portal, which happens on the 8/8. And we're year 9, so it's not a triple eight, but it's on the 8/8, and there's a lot of, let's say, debate in the spiritual community whether it's a real thing or not, if it's a hoax. Like a lot of people bank on this idea of this very powerful spiritual portal, and some astrologers are like, no, it's not true. The sun doesn't align with Sirius. while this is true, it's not, the sun doesn't align on Sirius on that date. It's like the peak of the heliacal rising of Sirius. So that's why this date is meaningful, but also it's a numerological event. And we've pulled card already on the significance of it, but I'd like to just ask the cards, is the 8/8 date special energetically or spiritually? Let's ask the cards. Or is it just like the whole period of the heliacal rising of Sirius that is important and not just the 8/8 date? Is there some importance to the 8/8 date?
I think the significance was created by what we are believing in, because it says teamwork as the very first card, and it feels like it's more of us making it a big deal, so therefore it becomes a bigger deal. And sorry for the noise. I have a new kitten, and there's a lot of arguments between Edmund and the new kitten.
Oh, they're learning how to how to work in a team, like you just said. Okay, so it's like a man-made, and it makes sense because it's a numerological event. But since like a lot of people are, let's say, pushing their energy towards that, let's say, egregore or frequency, it became something.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. And okay, so I guess like the whole period of the heliacal rising of Sirius is important, from July 24th to August 27th. And okay, what is important about energetically this whole period of the heliacal rising of Sirius from end of July until end of August? What is important? What should we know?
It feels like a total replacement of the old with the new, but it's a karmic reward. It's almost like this is what I see normally as energy when it comes to the end of a cycle with Jupiter. I think at the end of the lesson with Jupiter, you get a reward from Jupiter. Yeah. Right? It feels like this, because what I'm seeing is that it makes you feel like you need to change something. And then if you do it, I'm saying that because we have submission and extractor. And then if you do it, we have meeting with people that are important for you, either in love life or partnership or friends or whoever, mentor, and we have sudden wealth. So I feel like it's kind of a, if you do the work, this is another support for you to continue on your journey. And this is another checkpoint of, are you actually on the right path or not? Are you evolving? So I think that in this, it's very much about opening doors, luck. It's very much about opportunities. But if you don't do the work, it may be either seen by you as a bad thing, a lesson, or you may miss it, or you may be going into another round of lesson in karma.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you know what is special about this year's, let's say, Sirius portal, is that on August 12th, which is in the period of the heliacal rising, we're having Jupiter and Venus conjunct together, so aligned together with Sirius. And Jupiter and Venus are the great benefactors of astrology. They bring gifts. Sirius is also a planet of wealth, of big dreams, of beautiful blessings. So I think the 12 might be even more special than the 8 this year. Yeah. But I think since we were talking about this whole period, the cards that you pulled and what you just described makes absolute sense as like karmic rewards, blessings, for the people who have planted the seeds before, right?
Yes. So that means if there is something that you need to make space for, okay, so if you have a current partner and you're asking when is going to come my soulmate, or you need to get rid of the relationship that you're in that you're not satisfied about, you need to make space. Same thing with if you have a job that you don't like. I know jobs is more touchy because it's money and everything, but you need to open up doors, start talking about it, start looking, make space in your life for it. yeah, that's why we have the extractor, I think, and that's why we have the card of blessing afterwards. If you don't have the space, it may pass by you.
Okay, so we still have a couple of days, maybe a week before August 12th. So it's time to make space. I'm all for it. I'm about to do a juice cleanse this week, so I'm making space for I'm detoxing, so making space. All right, for beautiful new energies. Just before we continue, I wanted to share with you if you would like to have a reading in order to help you declutter your life, detox your life, make space for the beautiful blessings that are trying to enter your universe. It's time to book a booking, of course, if you resonate with that right now. And we have a beautiful 10% off discount with the code Jupiter. And you're going to be able to book either the 30-minute pre-recorded reading with Sophie, which is a recorded video that's being sent to you via a private link. So you can watch and rewatch anytime and answering your personal questions. And also we have the 1 hour live tarot Zoom reading and also the 1 hour past live reading, which is also a live one. So Sophie, how's it going? Do you still have spaces for the summer? Because I know you're going to be going soon and you're already out of town, but you're going to be going into a medical intuitive soon. So what's the state of the consultations right now?
Yes, so we're still in the window of within 2 weeks for the 30 minutes per record. I'm leaving for a week, so that's not any worries. I know I received some emails about the timeline for the 30 minutes. Right now, even though I go for a training, I will be able to give you the email, the video by email for a 30 minutes reading within 2 weeks. When it comes to consultation, summer, we have a lot less of opportunities, but right now there is some space if you want to have your own reading book right now. It's not going to be too far in the future.
All right, so it's still time to book during the summer if you'd like a live reading, and for the 30-minute also it's still 2 weeks. So don't forget Jupiter as your discount code. All right, so now we're going to be talking about something which is kind of a rabbit hole, a very interesting one. And okay, so let's first watch a video that Sophie sent me. And I'm gonna try to put that on screen in just a few seconds. So it's a student of 12 years old who did a summer project research, and she discovered that basically all of the US former presidents had a common lineage. So let's watch the video and then we're going to ask questions for the cards.
This is mind-blowing. A 7th grader spent her summer building a presidential family tree.
Okay.
And she discovered that every single United States president, with the exception of one, were all related. And all of them, every single one of them, are descendants of one single person. The former King of England, John Lackland, who signed the Magna Carta in 1215. Nobody had put this together before because most genealogists only focused on the male side of the family. But she went ahead and put together the male and female lineage of every single president and discovered that every one of them are related, except for Martin Van Buren. This is something that definitely makes you look at the big picture a little bit differently. Check this out.
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, William Howard Taft, and President Barack Obama. One young girl traced them all back to one common ancestor.
They're all cousins and all grandsons of John Lackland.
It's the first family tree of its kind, pouring through more than 500,000 names for months. 12-year-old Bridge Ann D'Avignon discovered that all the U.S. presidents, except Martin Van Buren, are related to the former King of England.
Okay. So very weird. Thank you to this 12-year-old amazing girl who did a lot of research, apparently more than our specialists, genealogists. Okay, so I went on a little bit of a rabbit hole here because I wasn't aware of who King John Lackland was. And he, like they mentioned in the video, he was the one who signed the Magna Carta, the Great Charter, in 1215. And I think this has a lot of significance. So we're going to dive back into Magna Carta in just a few minutes. But first, let's start with, I think the more obvious question, which is why are they all descendants of this former King of England, John Lackland? Why? I think this is so interesting. Like, we know, like, people are mostly aware here that we know that a lot of people in power, let's say, stay in the same bloodlines. But here, I think this is very, very interesting. And judging by your face, I think we're gonna have interesting answers here from the cards.
Okay. Off-world. Now you make the face too. This is the Eight of Swords energy. We have business, finance, and value. Unawaken. Power and control. And we have event, reunion, and celebration. It's not a mistake. It's to keep the power for the elite in the ET race.
Can we have more information of what ET race we're talking about?
Okay.
What are the, let's say, particularities of that ET race?
Sure. You're better than I am with the names, so I will just throw the cards in.
Yeah.
Eight of Sword again. So mind control. That is for me mind control, because we have Eight of Sword next to Eight of Swords. Okay, cards on the floor. We have the Conqueror, the Tower. So people will establish control on Earth. And we have Four of Pentacles. People want to keep it. It says that they're not all here. We have Eight of Cups, so they're not all here. They control from far away, but they want to make sure that it is a controlled environment here.
Whoa. Okay. So I don't know if we're talking here about the Anunnaki. Let us know here in the comments what you think. Maybe. Okay. And what's special about this bloodline?
Mind control.
They're able to do mind control. We got the Awaken card too, so it means that unawaken. Sorry. So how do you see that?
It's us. It's the people here on Earth to keep us unawakened. So we are below them in their view. We don't use all of the capacities. So what was your question?
What is special about this bloodline? Maybe aside from the fact that they're able to perform mind control.
Interesting, because this is the card of awakening, and you said awakening when we have the card of unawakened. So interesting that we have this Eight of Cup, King of Cup, Eight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, High Priestess. It looks like they are making experiment on us. So what is special about them?
Maybe they cannot be mind controlled. Maybe they have like this I don't know, this ability to protect themselves against people that are trying to change their opinions. And I don't know, do you think they have like special psychic powers, or it's...
You mean the people who are descendant of them here on Earth? Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And they can absolutely control your mind. Look at this.
Okay, that's very evident. Yeah.
Very, very, very clear on those cards. With the High Priestess card next to it, it's really subconscious, really affecting us. But yeah, the descendants don't have everything, of course, but the descendants are able to be the sous chef, basically, of the bigger race, and they are just there to control. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So let's dive a little bit into this. Okay, I'm gonna remove that.
Okay, just one more thing. The Ten of Swords here means that they're also able to take control over anybody that would be trying to gain a lot of control or popularities.
Like, are they able to, I don't know, like take their soul out of their body, or is it more like a mind control trick?
I would say it's a total mind control trick.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Interesting. And how interesting is it that they all descend from this former England king, John Lackland, who is the one that put together this Magna Carta? And a lot of people are saying that it's like the fundaments of our modern democracy, and it was like such a big deal for the people, and that it's said to limit the royal powers in order to aid the population, and people having the power of the land instead of the king, basically. But here I found this video on Rumble, and this guy talks about how it is a great lie. And also, let's not forget that Jay-Z also uh, named his album in 2013 Magna Carta Holy Grail. So I don't think it was really good for the population if both Jay-Z and all of those, let's say, elite people are descending from the creator of this Magna Carta. And here, okay, so I want to dive into like, what is it really doing? Because here in this video, I'm gonna try to.
How much mucus came out of my
Okay,
lungs the
this
first
is
time I
not what I
tried
wanted to
this.
do here. Sorry. Here he's talking about how it was a great lie, and that if you really look into, let's say, the fine print of this great charter, actually it gives more people more power and land rights to the aristocracy, like the people already in power. So can we pull cards about like what was it all about, this Magna Carta Great Charter deal? Like, was it more for the elites, the people in power, or giving more rights to the people?
How weird that we have another word of the awakening.
Yeah.
Okay. Very, very strange. I'm going to show you the cards. I will take the second row because so far, so this is the elite for sure. We have the Leo card. We have the card of the ego. So this is the elite for sure. We have the awakening. So this is very, very strange. We have passion, empathy. So that could be very positive, but we have the devil next to it. Peter Pan. We have the mask. So hiding intentions, maybe. Time frame and inner voice. So, of course, this is a question that is super protected. I know it. That's why I'm going to use the second row, but those cards are an enigma for me right now. Okay, let's see what we have. I think it's to see who is, it's very strange. I think it's to see who is a real leader, who is, it's, how would I put this? It's almost to a test of, are you the right person, or are you I cannot explain this. Can you help me with this? Because it's like I'm trying to explain a color that doesn't exist right now.
Okay, maybe I can show you here what I was looking for earlier. Maybe it's going to inspire you. So this is basically a translation of the original document, which talks about Magna Carta, the Great Charter. And basically it says here that, and I'm sorry for the background noise. Okay, this is a really Mercury retrograde video so far. Thank you for bearing with us. It says basically, in the first place, we grant to God, blah, 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 and we furthermore grant and give to all the freemen and of our realm for ourselves and our heirs in perpetuity the liberties written below, to have and to hold to them and their heirs from us and our heirs in perpetuity. So basically, it seems like it's a document that is kind of putting, let's say, the structure into how the power is going to be, let's say, pass on from the same bloodline into the same bloodlines, basically, and to make it legal. And a lot of people say, oh, it's the basis of like democracy and the human's rights, but really, I don't think it is the case, if that makes sense, Sophie. I don't know.
Yeah. So the card I took when you said that were Four of Pentacles, Four of Sword, and the King of Pentacles. So keeping basically the money or the value where it is, but also I was also seeing that it's almost like the people who are descendant of that race are going to be able to thrive naturally through it. It's almost like we're putting a spell or I don't know, a paint on those people, and like we see suddenly who they are, who so with this you recognize who is the descendant of that race and who isn't, and there is this awakening, this calling of this race to stand up and to have the power. So that's
like they recognize each other for some reason.
Well, yeah, but it's more than this. It's like an activation. So very, very strange. Is it a spell? Well, I think it is, but it's mainly we keep having the same thing. It's mainly an awakening. It's mainly an activation. So a spell can be an activation, but it's the keyword of activation and awakening is very profound here.
Woo, okay. And is this Great Charter Magna Carta agreement, is this going to be, let's say, rewritten or destroyed? What's going to happen with this?
It says we're going to walk away from it and we're simply going to live with new laws. There is going to be a new frequency and people are going to be able to have a new way of living, but this is not right now. We have the tower showing up. So we know that this is a year that's going to be the next 12 months, not 2025 per se, but the next 12 months. We know that this is going to be a period where a lot of the population is going to ask for more power. We see it. People are going to empower themselves through their mission even more. But this is also a collective change in a sense where we don't want to have control over us through corruption and through any kind of external power. And I think this is what happened with this is that it activated even the people who were descendant, who were not in a very wealthy position. They were able to thrive and to get out of their situation because of this.
This is really eerie. Okay. Okay. So also, aside from this Magna Carta that was put together in 1215, also King Charles has put together a Terra Carta sort of charter and an Astra Carta charter, which also this guy on Rumble talked about. And here I went to look up what was this whole Astra Carta all about. And the guy in the Rumble video that I just showed said that basically it was to proclaim King Charles as a ruler of our universe, right below God and the earth. So as crazy as it may sound, it's like they're preparing themselves to, and I'm not even joking, guys, like it's really something that exists. And they did the whole logo and unveiling of that stuff. So I'd like to ask the cards, like, okay, does that make this Astra Carta document, does it make King Charles the ruler of the earth and the universe? And of course, they're doing that in, let's say, in response to other ET races. Like, I'm aware of that, but let's see what the cards have to say.
No, but it secured the lineage for what is to come. So it doesn't make him the whatever status he wants to be, but somehow it secured the lineage. So we have the card of loyalty here, devotion. So this is the card of the dog. We have change. So he knows that something is going to change with this. Maybe royalty is not going to be a royalty anymore. So who knows what he's seeing coming. Of course, we know that there is change coming with this. Investigator. We have resurrection. And interesting, we have baggage, and we have baggage is being brought somewhere new. So it's almost like through this, what he aimed for is that his power, even if humans are removing his power on the country level or whatever it is, that it is still going to be recognized elsewhere.
So basically, he's like saying to the ET overlords, hey, I'm such a good puppet. Please reward me for being here.
Putting him on the map.
Okay, are they preparing themselves like to go off planet? Because I know you had a card and I can't remember which one, but that made me kind of think about that. Like, are they preparing to, let's say, move outside the planet, and they want to keep their titles in this whole hierarchy outside the Earth?
No, they're afraid of revolution, but yes, they also want to be sure that whatever is coming towards the Earth is recognizing them as a power, even though they are or they will not be in power. We will not know right now if by that time they will be still recognized as royalty. But yeah. Do they really want to go off-world? I think that yes. I think that this is an escape that is possible for them.
In case things turn really bad here on Earth, it's like a last-minute resort.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. The magician faking their death and just going off-world. But also, it's almost like if anything comes here, like, guys, I'm someone important. I'm on your side. Like, you cannot touch me.
Wow. So they're already preparing for if things go haywire here on Earth with the revolution. Okay. And lastly, here on the same topic, why did Jay-Z name his 2013 album Magna Carta Holy Grail? Is it like an oath to the elites and the Freemasons? Is that to show his allegiance to the dark side? What is it doing?
Okay, it says Muse, I will awaken the best part of you. So I think that absolutely is allegiance. Absolutely is allegiance. Yeah, the magician and Muse, I will awaken. So basically it's to say a big thank you for the creation. Thank you for the power you're giving me.
Because we know that Jay-Z is one of the, let's say, top of the pyramid in the music industry.
Yeah.
Was or is, I don't know, but wow, yeah.
So this is a node, an offering.
So interesting. Okay. Let's go to our next topic, which is going to be trending. And I'm sorry for the background noise. Is that really bad?
I don't hear it, but I have tons of background noise here. Okay. So
let's hope it's not too bad. Such a Mercury retrograde show. But okay, so I found this on Instagram and I thought it was so interesting. So the girl here is saying that Bumble, which is a dating app, online dating app, cuts 30% of their staff as online dating hits inflection point. So she's saying here that like the new trend will be that people is going to actually meet in person during like, let's say, events or activities or things that you believe in to maybe meet more of your soul tribe or like-minded people, and it's going to happen more organically. Basically is what she says in the video, which is an interesting point of view. But I'd like to ask the cards, like, what is about to happen with dating apps? Because also we're in the age of Aquarius, and we know that Pluto just moved into Aquarius, which Aquarius is all about technology. So people initially thought that those dating apps were going to become even more popular. So, but it could go, let's say, either way. So let's ask the cards, like, what is going to happen with the dating apps moving forward? Is it going to become more popular or less popular? What's going to happen? Is she right when she says that we're moving more towards real life encounters rather than online ones? What's happening?
I have ghosting, commitment, and ghosting on the other side. So that's
Okay.
interesting. Interesting. A lot of karmic also cards are there. So interesting. We'll see what it means. Yeah. Let's see. So far, I would say that people want to be more alone. But let's see.
Or maybe that people struggle with the idea of commitment with online apps and they ghost each other. And I don't know.
Yeah, let's see. 8 of Cups, walking away. Ace of Cups, receptivity. Okay, yeah.
Or could it be like, I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there, but could it be that we're more prone to matching with karmic partners on dating apps? Because like the first thing that you see is the appearance, and we know that let's say it's very different as if you were, let's say, working with someone and you develop feelings because you're like, oh, it's more like personality based maybe, rather than like appearance, which I think could be leading to more karmic partners. Like, yeah, tell me what you think.
Yeah, it's exactly that. We have the double karmic, we have the card of ghosting, coasting, and we have the card of bound. So I think that with the apps, it's going to be more if you're looking for your toxic person. And I've said that I know nobody is really consciously looking in for it, but when you're still looking for your pattern, when you're still looking for just the brief excitement, short term, when you're, well, it could be LT also if you're just looking for a one night stand. I mean, it's your life, but it's more about the people who are looking for the bad boy, the girl that you're not supposed to be with. They know it's a pattern, you know, that it's not good for them. I think it's going to stay there because we have so much card of just like, people going on the app in the future. And it's basically what we see already. People are going on the app and they're going to be ready to receive. We have receptivity, Ace of Cup. And what is happening? We have karmic, we have the devil. So I think that the app are going to be less important for meeting the real love. I think that less and less couples are going to meet there, and more. So eventually, I think the app are going to just fade away. But I think that they're going to be still used for those people who are not ready to meet the real person, the real match.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is it possible that we're kind of timeline splitting between people who are actually ready to meet a soulmate, like more of a spiritual union, divine union, that are going to go away from those dating apps, whereas like people who are still has to learn like karmic lessons are gonna maybe go towards dating apps? Like, is it possible that we're experiencing like a split depending on where you are in your own personal evolution?
Yes, and we do have positive cards of how to meet after that. It's more like you said, we have Guardian Angel, we have 8 of Pentacles, and we have the Queen of Swords. So in training, anywhere you're going to be, cooking class, dance class, or in school, or in at your work, it could be anything really that you are going to do as a hobby more, or that you're going to be in an intellectual place. It's not going to be partying. It's not going to be, for the real meeting, it's not going to be on app or partying anymore. So that's interesting. But there is a lot of low quality match that can be still made on those apps in the future.
Depending, what is your goal? Okay.
But
Okay.
sometimes I recommend people to go on the apps just because I see that they have like a couple of frogs coming before the prince, and sometimes it's better to learn the lesson without having to dress nice, lose your time going somewhere, having a bad meeting. Sometimes it's better to just go in apps and chat with someone, and then it's done, like for an hour or two, and then you're ready for the next person.
You learned the
have
lesson and you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Let us know what you guys think. Okay, so my next one is going to be about, let's say, mysteries. I found this post on Instagram, which I thought was super interesting, and they're talking about how there's like a common archetype in many of the Disney movies where the mother is always missing. And they're saying here it's not a coincidence. Okay, where did the mother go? Have you ever noticed that in nearly every childhood film, the mother is missing, dead, or erased? Snow White, Cinderella, Finding Nemo, Frozen, My Girl, Bambi, the pattern repeats. It's not an accident, it's programming. Let's talk about why. It says it starts young. When children repeatedly watch characters lose their mother, it imprints a deep subconscious wound about that love is actually lost, nurturing is actually temporary, safety is unstable. This creates an early attachment wound that plays out for life. And also they're saying that the mother represents in the soul the archetypal, so if I pronounce this right, mother is the earth, the womb, the divine feminine, intuition, safety, embodiment. And removing her from stories disconnects children from their feminine essence, from softness, from guidance, from the sacred, which I thought was very, very interesting. Okay, so let's ask the cards. Was it designed as an undercover way to disconnect us from the divine feminine?
Can I ask what was the intention?
Yeah, let's ask the intention. Okay. It's going to be more neutral.
To make the man more of a savior.
Yeah.
We're supposed to think that God, the man energy, is a savior, and that you're not going to be saved if you're staying single.
Okay. And what is the purpose on that on a societal level?
Remove your absolutely to make you more vulnerable to anything that is psychic that you did not learn from the mother, because you're not connected with your you said that the divine feminine, but it's your deep divine feminine, where you're encouraged as a young person to go more into your gut feeling, to trust your instinct. And instead, it's more about turning you away from that and more about going into the 3D, more going into this man of masculine world, this energy of masculine world, of needing to survive.
And it's so true that there has been like this whole archetype or idea of that there's a Prince Charming who's going to save you at some point of your boring, sad life. So you just need to wait for that Prince Charming in order to be happy.
But it says only if you're cute, of course. Otherwise, you're evil.
Wow.
Of course.
Yeah. And I read here, it says a system that feeds off trauma and conditions us to expect it. Yes, definitely. So I was going to ask, like, were they trying to implant little girls with wounded attachment to the divine masculine? But I think you already answered that with a big yes.
Yes, and it's really to mold woman to be ready for masculine world.
And how can we, as let's say divine feminines, move away from that programming in order to have like more healthy relationships to the divine masculine?
Interesting. It says change, talent, and we have the card of the witch. So I would say that you need to embrace your own specific gift and qualities It does not mean that everybody needs to do the cards. It does not mean that everybody needs to be a healer or painter or whatever is on those cards. It just means that as women, we are intuitive. We have the gift of creation. You need to express who you are the way that it resonates with you. And I think that by doing this and healing your wound of being seen, of being heard the way that you are without being a commodity for the masculine world, I think this is how you heal it.
Beautiful. Let us know what you think, but I think this is a very important topic here. Okay, let's move here. I found this post. It is in Spanish, but I'm going to translate. So basically, they're a couple who are going to protect their belly button before going out, because it says here in the post that the belly button is a portal of energy where energies or outside influences can enter. So it's a way basically to protect your energy or to filter negative energies or external influences that could, let's say, mess your personal balance, basically. So can we ask the cards, is it true that covering the belly button can help protect your energy? And some people are doing it with like a stone, a crystal, or some, it's like a cord that they, like a red cord that they attach around the waist. I've heard a lot of things, especially with Hispanic people who seem to be more aware than we are about that.
It's more about recharging and taking a break. Oh. And it's not a mistake that I talked about it today in my consultation.
Really?
Yeah, it's always like that. But when I do the scanning of the body for the medical intuitive, I see where your cords of attachment are. And I realize by doing it that when you have a twin flame, good or bad, often it's attached to the belly button, because twin.
Yeah.
So I think that this is also how you are connected with your twin. And if your twin is not working on his or hers lesson and mission and energy, you're often in this kind of toxic giving away of your energy.
Are you just talking here about twin flames, or could it be like any partnership, like a close partnership, a karmic partnership, for example? Because if you're in a relationship with someone, like I'm guessing that also your energy gets drained if your partner is not, let's say, on the same wavelength of evolution.
Of course, everybody can cord everywhere in your body, but so far, those people who have seen that cord, weirdly enough, it was always two people who they called themselves twin flame. So listen.
Yeah, because like we also know, you and I, that a lot of people who think they're in a twin flame partnership are sometimes in a karmic relationship that's disguised as. Can we pull cards on that? Like, does let's say karmic connections are connected through the belly button, or is it just twin flames connection?
But also, like I said, every connection could be connected anywhere.
Yeah.
But let's see.
Like, what's the type of, let's say, relationship that tends to be connected mostly through the belly button?
Yeah. Karmic. Like when you have the card that says karmic partner, this is crazy. But I was about to say that just because I have the card of trouble and I have the card of self-realization and ascension reverse. And we know that those are the symbols of either the feminine in that sense and the masculine in that sense. So knowing that we have those two cards, for me, that was already karmic, but karmic is there.
The answer is here.
It's absolutely this. And we do need to pay attention to the cords to release them. So you're keeping your energy to yourself and you're not feeding someone that doesn't want to do the work. Otherwise, it's dead weight.
That is fascinating. Okay. So do you think, like, what's better to protect the belly button? Let's say you want to do some protection. Is it like a sticker like it is shown in the video? Is it a crystal? Is it a cord? What do you think?
No, it says to not put anything. It says to just let go, and to just basically clear your energy field often.
Okay.
This would be in the same vein as people putting bubbles of protection around them. It's better
Yeah.
not to. Just clear your energy afterwards.
Okay. Let's go for one last question, which is a big one, I know, but we're gonna try to cover it the best way we can. Thank you, Tim, for sending this question over in the community. So he's asking, based on the teaching of Rudolf Steiner here, that's shown on the left, Gigi Young on the right here says that spiritual initiation is the key to eternal life. Okay, so that's a big statement. So they're saying, well, basically based on Rudolf Steiner's teachings, spiritual initiation is the key to eternal life. So I have many questions regarding that.
It sounds very culty, but okay. And does
Well,
that guy?
it could be taken on so many different levels. So this is what I want to touch on with the cards.
Just wanted to say that this guy looks a lot like Jeremy Aaron.
It's true. It's
Okay.
true. But like honestly, like I've read and I've became more, let's say, familiar with a lot of Rudolf Steiner's teaching, and I think he was like such a light, a spiritual light on many, many different topics. So I personally don't doubt this sentence, but I want to see like what are the nuances that we need to know maybe. Okay, so let's start here. So again, spiritual initiation is the key to eternal life. What is eternal life in that context?
So that means that if we remove the programming, we're able to live a very, very long life physically.
Oh, okay. And so
Very
it's really
programmed.
like what I thought it was going to be. Okay, and what is this spiritual initiation they're talking about? Because it's not just like becoming aware that you're a soul in a body. I guess it's a lot deeper than that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Honestly, the cards that I have in front of me are very culty also. So I think that it's to be part of an organization that has a lot of knowledge. So this is the card of work. It says occupation, labor, and effort. So putting a lot of commitment and work into spirituality. So we have the elite right there. We have ruthless power and money. And we have the card of power. We have the matrix. So I think it's to belong to any kind of group that has some kind of deep knowledge. And of course, we can have positive groups, negative groups. Your own intent can taint it, but those cards seems to be that the more negative one it controls have the more advanced knowledge on it.
Okay, and is it possible to do it the right way, like being surrounded by light and good intentions, and to do it purely without?
Yeah. Ascension, and we have backstabbing reverse. Yes. It is possible. In that sense, it is possible, but I think that it's going to be very tough journey.
Okay, are those teaching this hidden knowledge that used to belong to very secret organizations and groups, is it going to become more widely available for the masses as we move forward into the age of Aquarius?
The answer is yes, but you can be really sure that the people in control wants to keep it for themselves and are ready to do everything to keep it. But the answer is yes.
Wow, we have a very clear cards today. I love that. Well, also, I would like to know what you guys think about that. Let us know in the comments below, because I think this is a huge topic, and I know you guys are very knowledgeable into this kind of topic. So let us know what you think in the comments below. And do make sure you like, again, the show if you resonate with the content, if you appreciate it, what we discussed today. We would really, really appreciate your support. And also, just to quickly talk about our weekly schedule. So we are Tuesday already. This is the 5D News every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We put a new one, so do make sure you watch every Tuesday, of course. And then tomorrow we're going to have the third edition of our Practicing Tarot live class. This is so much fun. Thank you for everybody who's been joining us so far. And we have like winners who get readings from Sophie every class. So this is so much fun. This is going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern, still time to join. The link will be down below if you'd like to join us for this class. And then I'm going to put a special astrology video tomorrow about the Aquarius full moon. That is a very, very interesting full moon that we're going to have this Saturday, so this weekend. And we're going to have, of course, the Pick a Card by Sophie this Thursday. Thank you so much for everybody who submitted also content questions into the community. Do make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And also, we're going to see you very, very soon. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for being with us. We love you, and we'll see you very soon.